Blessings. Beautiful. So this is our Yin Yoga Vibe for the Sacral Chakra. You will need a bolster or something to use as a bolster. So like a rolled up duvet or two quite firm cushions. And we're going to start off. You also need a block or another slightly smaller but firmer cushion. This one to start with is going to go between your upper back so that your head is off the floor. Now you will find a spot where you can do that so it's not digging in your shoulders. So you're going to bring the soles of your feet together. How close or how far away you have your feet is totally up to you. And you're going to bring yourself down, adjust yourself so that just your chest is lifted. So it's a very gentle opening through your chest. And you're going to make a little triangle with your thumb and index fingers. And you're going to place that triangle over your belly button so that your belly button is in the center of your triangle. And you're going to relax. You're going to melt the body down to the floor. So take time. So I'm going to get up and sit up so that I can talk. But once you're in position, I want you to stay here. So make the time to find a position that you can relax in. Remember, to me, Yin Yoga is about inviting the body to release. So although the stretches may feel gentler, because we're staying in it longer, the body can literally let go. So once you're in that position, I invite you to close your eyes and just become aware of the breath to begin with. Notice how you're feeling right now. In our modern, busy life, we spend a lot of time literally running on adrenaline. And that adrenaline can create inflammation in the body. If we maintain a state of high alert, and we're constantly stressed, constantly rushing around, then that adrenaline literally is staying in our bodies. We've not got time to metabolize it. So that can show up as tightness in our hips, inflammation in the body, and just a general fatigue, malaise. So I want you to simply notice how it feels being in your body right now, with no judgment, no criticism, just simply noticing. So noticing that your hips might feel tight and tense. Noticing that you might be gripping around your buttock muscles, or that your one shoulder might be tighter than the other. Noticing that you might be clenching your jaw slightly. And that's okay. At any time you notice these things, let it go. I want you to bring in the affirmation. It is safe for me to express my emotions in a healthy, healing way. It is safe for me to express my emotions in a healthy, healing way. Also notice if any resistance arises in your body as you say that. Whether you notice any tension, especially around the hips and groin. You might suddenly kind of like tense up. And also keep in mind as well, this is a very vulnerable position because your legs are open. That can be seen as quite a sexual position because you're open literally to the elements instead of being protected. So keep that in mind, that you may feel slightly vulnerable in this position. Observe that. So notice if as I say that, you feel that kind of tensing around your hips, or that desire to draw your knees together, that feeling of being exposed, especially if, like me, you've been through some kind of sexual trauma in your life. That will often come up in these positions where we are holding our legs open, our knees open. So acknowledge that. Remind yourself, it is safe for me to express my emotions in a healthy, healing way. In this position, not only are you releasing tension around the shoulders, but that gentle lift and opening through your chest is also expanding your heart center. So see if you can just reach a place of simple observation. So you're simply observing whatever is going on, observing whatever sensations, whatever thoughts, whatever feelings, whatever emotions, without labeling them as good or bad, right or wrong, positive or negative. They just are. And also without trying to make yourself relax. You know, quite often the more we try and force ourselves to relax, the body literally resists and we create more resistance. I know when I first started, I've told this story before, I used to hate Yin Yoga because I found it too slow and too boring. And one time I was practicing it because I was given it as part of a program I was doing. And I just suddenly burst into tears, and just the words, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender, kept going through my mind. So also know that if you do have sudden burst of emotion, that is quite normal, quite natural, especially when we're releasing around the hips. It is safe for me to express my emotions in a healthy, healing way. I invite you to take one more nice deep breath in. Imagine breathing into the space around your hips. And as you let the breath go, imagine letting go of any resistance. Let it go. And when you finish that exhale, gently bring your knees in. Just release your block. And either taking your block or your bolster, you can try either, and place your hips, your pelvis on it. So it's almost like you're in a very subtle bridge pose, but you're then going to extend your legs out. And you can maybe take the arms out to the side, maybe even slightly overhead, maybe even holding on to the opposite wrists. So your hips are lifted, arms overhead, shoulders relaxed. I'm not really wearing the right colour top here, guys. I do apologise. And again, just relax. Close your eyes. And this is why it's so important to really take the time to make sure you are able to relax. So if there's even the slightest, you get the nudge to make even the slightest adjustment, then do so. And again, just notice that stretch and release in the front of the body. And here, mentally affirm, my emotions are energy that are free-flowing and balanced. My emotions are energy that are free-flowing and balanced. And again, notice any sensations in your body as you're repeating the affirmations. My emotions are energy that are free, flowing, and balanced. Again, just letting your body release. So as I said at the beginning, every emotion is a chemical reaction, is energy. So from excitement to joy to fear to sadness, most emotions pass through us very easily. And if you were to note the different emotions you experience during the day, from like maybe confusion, boredom, happiness, gratitude, most of them kind of pass through. You might have a moment of irritation about something and you've forgotten about it 5 minutes later. It's when we hold on to emotions, so strong emotions like loss, grief, heartbreak, because we hold on to it, we keep reminding ourselves it's painful. And if we don't heal in a healthy way, then it can come back to haunt us. Like me personally, I didn't heal properly when I lost my mum. And so 3 months later, I had a complete emotional breakdown and I had no choice. I spent 2 weeks crying, literally 2 weeks crying, because I didn't allow myself to heal properly. I tried to just keep going and, keep going regardless, and that didn't work. And so, there's no hard and fast rules either of how to deal with whatever. Take grief, for example. You may grieve people differently. It doesn't mean you love one more than the other. It's just different. But your emotions are energy, and they are free, flowing, and balanced unless or until we try and hold on to them, repress them, deny them, ignore them, or they get stored, stuck in our body. Again, just observing thoughts, feelings, emotions as you are here. My emotions are energy that are free, flowing, and balanced. See if you can take a couple more breaths even more deeply. See if you can notice a release. You'll notice a release with each out breath. It might be a big release, it might be a small release, but you will notice a release. Let's give me one more nice big in breath. Maybe sigh it out this time. When you finish that breath, release your arms, bring your feet down, just release your block or your bolster, pop it to one side. You're going to come into happy baby pose. You're going to bend your knees, either bring your hands to the inside of your feet or hold on to the outside of the feet and press the knees to the outside of your ribs. If you can't quite reach your feet, you can hold on to your ankles or even hold on, wrap your arms around behind your thighs. And again, it's a vulnerable pose. It's not the most glamorous pose. You may find yourself rocking a little bit side to side. If that happens, then just let it. Don't try and force it, but you might find yourself naturally rocking a little bit. Again, closing your eyes, shoulders relaxed. Just observing all thoughts, feelings, emotions. So again, if you do feel a sense of vulnerability, honor that, okay? Don't make yourself wrong. Don't think yourself you're silly or whatever, you know, just acknowledge that. And mentally affirm, I find creative ways to express myself. I find creative ways to express myself. Now, I have experienced, like a lot of women, I've experienced sexual abuse of one kind or another, and I used to struggle with this kind of position because it feels very vulnerable, very, you know, kind of sexual. It reminds me of going for smear tests when I used to cause a panic attack. So if that is the same for you, you know, be kind, be gentle with yourself. And maybe if you can, bring to mind a newborn baby, a happy newborn baby, healthy, happy baby, smiling, laughing, you know, in this position. And bring a sense of that childlike wonder to yourself. Because there's still that little girl, that little child in you that needs nurturing, deserves love and nurturing. I find creative ways to express myself. And you may even find here that you want to bring a bit of movement into the pose by maybe straightening alternative legs, stretching out. So if you find that you naturally and simultaneously bring a bit of movement in, don't try and stop yourself. Don't try and, oh, I wasn't told to do that, I can't do that. You know, sometimes I like to move in a pose, sometimes I like to keep still. Your body will let you know what it wants today. So if you find yourself kind of spontaneously bringing some movement in, again, just go with it. And you might find you can do this like several times over and you'll react in a different way each time. Just notice how it feels good on your back as well. It feels nice on your back. You might even find you rock your pelvis side to side a little bit. And just be like that child who's exploring their body, seeing what their body can do. I find creative ways to express myself. After your next exhale, bring the knees in, pop your feet down onto the mat and bring your right foot onto your left thigh, making a figure 4 shape. Flex that right foot. Try and press that knee away without twisting in your pelvis. So if you've got tight hips, just make sure you're not tilting or twisting in your pelvis. And you can stay with that, just bringing the feet a bit closer and staying here. Or you can reach through, clasp around behind that thigh and hug the knees in towards you. Hugging and releasing, and try and keep flexing that top foot. I know quite often my phone reverses So I'll say I'm doing my right and it will show me doing my left. It doesn't really matter which one you do first, it's okay. And nice deep breaths. So don't feel like you have to stay still. You may even straighten out that straight leg. Bring into a bit of a hamstring stretch. You may even decide to take your hands a little bit higher up to make a stronger stretch. So again, don't be afraid to kind of explore options. Seeing what feels right for you today. Breathing into it and mentally affirm, I embrace, celebrate and respect my emotions. I embrace, celebrate and respect my emotions. Yeah, remember you could still be here down on the floor, pressing that knee away. It's all good. Whatever position you're in is all good. I respect, celebrate and embrace my emotions. Remember, we are emotional beings. That's why we're designed to have all these emotions. You know, if we weren't meant to experience emotions, we wouldn't do. We would just be kind of like, you know, like machines, never really experiencing anything. And here's the thing, right? Okay, here's what I've kind of come to realize is that the downs, the tough times, really make us appreciate the better times even more. So we wouldn't know so much gladness if we didn't know sadness. You know, we wouldn't be grateful for things if we hadn't known loss. You know, the lows make us appreciate the highs even more. I embrace, celebrate and respect my emotions. After the next exhale, release, come down, switch sides, so bring your other foot onto the thigh. Notice how it feels this side. Know that one side may feel different to the other. Then flex that foot. You can stay here, pressing that knee out, just kind of feeling your weight, or you can reach through the gap, clasping your hands around that right thigh. Join the knee in, and you may find yourself rocking a little bit. So one side may feel easier than the other. You may extend that straight leg. Again, just explore. So in Yin Yoga, although we hold the poses a little bit longer, and in some classes they will hold even longer than we are, doesn't mean that you can't move. It doesn't mean like, that's it, I'm in it, I can't move now, that's absolutely it, that's I'm stuck. You know, you can explore and see what feels right for you. So sometimes I like to stay still in a pose. Other times it's nice to explore it a little bit. So close your eyes and just listen to your body. If you could totally trust that your body knows what it needs, if you could let your body lead the way, how would you be moving? I embrace, celebrate and respect my emotions. I'm taking another nice deep breath and let it go. Gently undo the legs. Last pose, we're going to come to bridge pose. It's a little bit more of an active pose here. So feet about hip width apart. If you can, try and hold on to your ankles. If not, press the arms down beside you. Roll yourself up into bridge pose. Now you may be able to keep hold of your ankles and lift through your hips. If that doesn't feel right for you, maybe interlink your hands, wiggle the shoulders together, press your feet into the floor, push into all four corners of your feet. As you breathe in, lift your hips. As you breathe out, push the floor away. Squeeze your butt, so it's a little bit more of a dynamic pose, but more active here. So a bit more energy in. So again, holding for 3 more breaths. So as you breathe in, lift your heart space. As you breathe out, press your arms and shoulders into the floor. Inhale, lift your ribs. Exhale, press your feet down into the mat. It's a great mood booster, bridge pose. Really think of lifting your chest, your chin. See if you can press into all four corners of your feet. Squeeze your tush. Opening the front of the body. Just give me one more breath because it feels good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press down to the floor. And undo your shoulders. Roll yourself down. Stretch your legs out wider than hip width. Shake your legs out. Open your hands, palms upwards. Move the arms away from the body. Close your eyes. And take a few deep breaths. Again, observing yourself. And mentally affirm, I honor my feelings and emotions, yet I know they do not rule me. I honor my feelings and emotions, yet I know they do not rule me. Notice how it feels as you affirm that. So you are not at the mercy of your emotions. Often we feel that way. So how does it feel to say, they do not rule me? I can honor them, but they do not rule me. I honor my feelings and emotions, yet I know they do not rule me. It is safe for me to express my emotions in a healthy, healing way. My emotions are energy that are free, flowing, and balanced. I find creative ways to express myself. I embrace, celebrate, and respect my emotions. I honor my feelings and emotions, yet I know they do not rule me. Just take a moment to simply observe once more, noticing how you feel now compared to when you started. No judgment, no criticism, just simple observation. If you decide you want to stay here a while longer, then just stay right where you are. If you're ready to end your practice, then just start to stretch out the arms and legs, moving in whatever way feels good for you right now. And start to bring yourself back up to sitting. When you arrive, bring your palms together, rub your palms together, connect right and left sides of the body, ground yourself, and it's kind of like putting a lid on this sacred container. Bring your hands to your heart, heart to your hands, giving you a little bow. And let's chant one Om together. So to chant Om, you start off with the mouth open as wide as you can with an Ah. Then you kind of start to close the mouth. Ah. Then you close it completely. And as you're doing that, feel the vibrations as they move from your belly, your solar plexus, up to your heart, to the tip of your nose. So take a nice deep breath in. Om Shanti. Love and light to you. Beautiful soul. Mwah.